Can't see clear through the smoke you created. I feel my feet on the ground and they're shaking. How am I supposed to save the situation? Why the steps getting wasted even though we feel the same? Would you hug me in the dark? Let the worries go away. Would you do it all again? Do it all again? Would you leave your finger marks on my body while it sways? Would you light my way, find my way home again? My home is you. 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 Here we are, where we thought we'd never be. Is there ever a way to be free? Can we turn back time so long, my dear? How are we supposed to save the situation? Would you hug me in the dark? Let the worries go away. Would you do it all again? Do it all again? Would you leave your finger marks on my body while it sways? Would you light my way, find my way home again? My home is you. 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 My home is you.
G'day ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard, and welcome back to the World Adventure here within Microsoft Flight Simulator, here in our Diamond DA40, the little plane that could. Now, something slightly different this evening that was very much a spur of the moment alteration, and that is simply because tonight's original stream was meant to be over 3.5 hours of flying. And I sort of did the maths with the 11:30 p.m. start and went, you know what, that's pretty crazy. And then whilst I was browsing through the sim, I discovered that the gateway to the Atacama Desert was actually on the way to Antofagasta, which was our original destination for this evening. So I was like, you know what, let's split up Leg 78 into 2 parts, because I was always keen to see the Atacama. I know quite a few of the rest of you were keen to see the Atacama, and although we were going to fly over the Atacama a fair bit over the next couple of flights, I figured why not, let's at least visit the gateway as well. And the massive advantage to that is if we make really good time on this stream, we're going to have a bit of a pilot skills challenge at the end, and it also means that tomorrow night's now going to get a stream, whereas it originally wasn't going to. Yeah, it's going to be a short stream, but again, there's the option there for a pilot skills challenge at the end. So, I don't know. That's my thought process behind it. It's probably a bit crazy, weird, and messed up, but there we go. Enough about the explanation and the way my brain works, because honestly, otherwise all of you are going to end up in some sort of mental health asylum just to deal with the shit that comes out of my mouth. So let's focus on flying instead, shall we? So off to the Atacama Desert today, and that's the other reason as well, Blackadder, that I actually forgot to mention, is the fact that Update 6 comes out at about 2 o'clock in the morning Australian time, and the last time that I was flying in the sim when an update became available, it crashed the sim. So I was like, alright, we need to figure out a way to sort this out, and of course having a nice short flight tomorrow gives us an opportunity to test the sim with the new sim update. And if it is a short flight and it's a complete debacle and a complete mess, you know, not all is lost. So, many different reasons, but as I said, enough about that. Now let's focus on the flight. So, first up, we'll say g'day to Mr. David Jacko, who says, who the hell already disliked this? People with nothing better to do, David. That's all it is, people with nothing better to do. Or bots. It's either one, and it doesn't matter. Because likes, dislikes, whatever it is, YouTube pushes it, no matter what. So, whatever. It's just a part of being a content creator online. Sean Dale says, hello, going to land at nearest airport in Norway, then whisk over in the DeLorean. As long as you hit 88 miles an hour, Sean, all's well that ends well there for you, mate. Blackadder says, hot dog? No, I'm not really into all the meats and bones and all that, and all crushed up together and placed into a sausage-shaped thing. David Jacko's already had a crash to desktop. Speaking of the devil, there you go. Vruden says, good morning, pilots. I only have about 30 minutes. Well, you know, is what it is there, mate. Is what it is. Calling Pigeon says, hi, everybody. Pleasure to fly with you again. The pleasure is all ours, Calling Pigeon. You are the man behind the virtual flight online transmitter setup. Therefore, the pleasure is all ours. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to jump outside the aircraft and we're going to have a quick look around at what's going on. I see a Sean Dale, I see a Vruden, I see a Blackadder, possibly, or a Calling Pigeon. But I believe we are obviously waiting on Calling Pigeon. Maybe we're waiting on either Calling Pigeon or Blackadder, one of them, and I think we're also waiting on Mr. David Jacko, who just had an issue with the crash to desktop. So we won't go racing away quite yet. We'll chill here for a couple of minutes, get to know everybody. If you haven't met me before, my name's Bryce. I come here often. I like long walks on the beach, beer, gin, etc, etc. I don't know. Just figured I'd turn this into a TIMDA session for a bit. Sean's brain has exploded. If somebody could get a mop and just give it a quick clean up, that would be fantastic, so we can get on with the flight. Calling Pigeon says you can go now. However, I'm just waiting and seeing what's happening with Mr. Jaco. unless Mr. Jaco is in the Trinidad, of course. But there is obviously a pretty good case to be made to the fact that the Trinidad might actually be Drew, because I'm pretty sure he's the only one who flies the Trinidad in my streams. Anyway, whatever. Stop trying to over-analyze everything, Bryce, because the first part of analyze is anal, and it just means that you're going backwards. Alright, David Jaco is in now. Okay. Well, that was what that weird feeling I felt was. I'm glad you managed to get it in though, David. Fantastic. Alright. Let us return to the piloting area. Make sure... So we don't need to be too worried about altitude today. I know that's phenomenal. Vruden's going to be jumping up and down about that news. So we're just going to go for our usual-ish... Whoa, but calm down. Calm down. Just calm your farm. So we're going to go for our usual 5,000. Yeah, ha 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 ha, I know. Lights on. Where is the fashion accessory? There it is. Try not to clobber it into the microphone on the way past. I will have a look now, Sean. I will have a look now. Yes, Sean, I see you on little nav map. So we're all good there. Wes says, hello there, bless you all. The almighty Wes is back again. Wes is back. Tell your friends. Alright. Fashion accessories on. Let's return on the track IR. And let's get out of Coquimbo here and head to the desert. Hello? Just stop moving. Okay, there we go. That's better. Just obviously need a little bit more engine power. Obviously, in a slightly rough spot. Wes has missed his full setup. Wes, how long were you gone for? Like 2 days? Alright. I'm just going to go straight away because obviously all of you are in much faster aircraft. And that also brings me to an interesting thing that I've come across today when I was doing a little bit more flight planning in the Pacific Ocean. Specifically the South Pacific Ocean. There is going to be some very, very long flights out there. There is no way to avoid that either. It's just gonna be a thing, unfortunately. I guess the only good thing that we can take out of that is that it gives me plenty of opportunity to do some cooking on the flies for the various countries that we'll be flying between. But unfortunately, there's going to be a few streams once we get out to the Pacific Ocean, and I'm talking in a fair bit of time. You know, like we're still probably close to 12 months from being in the Pacific Ocean, but looking at 6, 7, 8 hours, some streams, just because that is the distance in a small aircraft like this between the countries. So, and that is between the two closest points in two countries as well. You know, the Pacific Ocean is extremely sparsely populated with islands and people. So, yeah. Big Jack was the man in the Trinidad. I see. Something different there, Mr. Jacko? Go, make sure the speed is getting up. As we wave goodbye to Coquimbo. on the way to the Atacama Desert. Now, I did say that 5,000 feet would be enough. I may be about to eat my words, and if I do, I do honestly hope that they are going to be tasty. Right, flaps up. Now, when I pulled the flaps up, it'll be interesting to see if the aircraft does like what it has in the last couple of flights that I've done and actually pulls the flaps out for me, just mid-flight, because it can. I'm hoping it doesn't, but and who knows what new bugs may occur with Sim Update 6. Is it Sim Update 6? I think it is Sim Update 6, isn't it? Pull back the power a bit, down below the yellow, there we go. So, Mr. Jacko is powering on ahead there in his Trinidad. Very nice, very nice. Who we got behind? We got Rudin, I see, calling Pigeon. Mr. Shawndale out there in his Piper PA28 Arrow. Is that the usual PA28 Arrow you got out there, Sean, or have you got the turbo version? I think you've got the. I think you've said this to me before that you've got the normal version going on because the turbo would be too quick for these flights. You can very much tell that we are not far from a desert just based on the colours of the ground. Pretty specky, not gonna lie, pretty specky. Yeah, I figured I'd have a shot at trying to do the stream today without an earpiece in, so, you know, that's how I have the music playing in the background. I was like, oh, let's see what happens if I do that. Weird, I don't have music playing in the background. Cable company is here, Vruden. Your connection is going to drop. You'll fly until then. Not a problem, Vruden. Fully understand that, mate. You got to do what you got to do to get things fixed sometimes. Hightail 72 hours. Shame you still hit the wrong buttons, Sean. Don't worry, mate. I think everybody hits the wrong buttons sometimes. It just comes down to which buttons you're pushing, you know. Some people have good buttons that you can push, and some people have not so good buttons that you can push, but you can always push my buttons, Sean. Wes says he'll be here after Christmas because of the damn load times. Yep, no, that's, you know, it is what it is there, Wes. You know, can't change it. If we do make really good time on this leg, ladies and gentlemen, I don't actually have a problem with continuing on to Antofagasta. I just obviously am very aware of the fact that we're probably not going to be probably not going to be landing at the Atacama Desert, or the gateway to the Atacama Desert, which is actually, I think, now, watch me butcher this, but Desierto De Atacama, I think, is what our destination says. So once we get there, I'm aware of the fact that it's probably going to be a good 90 minutes or more from now. So, yeah, again, I'm not adverse to continuing on to Antofagasta, but I just didn't want to put too much onto people, and there is obviously the option there for heading to a particular airport and hanging out both this evening and tomorrow evening if we do keep the next two streams on the shorter side. But ultimately, in the end, you know, as you guys know, this is very much a viewer-based and community-based channel, so I'm more than welcome to hear from you guys about what you'd be interested in doing, and you don't actually need to give me an answer until we actually are landed at Desierto De Atacama. Obviously, Blackadder has fitted afterburners to his PA28R because he has just gone absolutely screaming past us as if we were standing still. The only problem, Sean, is that I don't know whether Ruden's internet will come back in enough time whilst we're still streaming. I mean, it might, but if he's got the cable company out there, who knows what amazing magic they might perform with their fingers and hands and toes. Mr. William Kelly is here. G'day, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well there, good sir. Blackadder says the Piper climbs fast. I really need to just stop for 5 minutes sometime and just download the damn Just Flight Piper arrow like I keep saying I'm going to do, and then I never do. If it makes you feel any better, those of you who are waiting for me to download the Just Flight Piper arrow, I also have the Milviz PC6. I had an issue with the first install. Had a couple of bugs with it starting, so I did a uninstall. Have not yet reinstalled it. Done millions of other things to the sim. Haven't bothered to reinstall that. Who knows why, because it's an absolutely fantastic aircraft to fly. Go figure. I don't know how my brain works sometimes. Bruton says he has to take his wife to the dentist in 30 minutes anyway. Oh. Well, that doesn't exactly sound like an absolutely fantastic way to spend your day, Bruton, but I guess, obviously she's needing some sort of dental work, so that's fair, that's fair. Arrow seems like a nice touring aircraft like Mooney and the Trinidad. Absolutely, Liam Kelly. It 100% does, and it 100% should be as well. I think I've already mentioned this a few times before within streams, but this was actually meant to be being done in a Mooney Bravo. But then in typical Microsoft Flight Simulator fashion, it became unreliable and crashy, and add-ons didn't work, and so yeah, here we are. Yeah, Mooney is on sale right now. If there's any Carinado aircraft I want to get, it is it, and I will probably grab it. But I now am obviously holding off on buying anything at all and adding anything at all to the sim until obviously we find out what happens tomorrow with Sim Update 6, whether things are stable, unstable, horse stable. You know, I've always thought about the fact that if I was to ever own a horse, I would have to name him Mayo, because mayonnaise. Yeah. But even if I do get the Mooney William, I am not probably going to change aircraft. I mean, it is a thought that has definitely gone through my head, especially ever since the Mooney sort of became stable again and Carinado had fixed the issues and is keeping up with most sim and world updates in relation to any compatibility issues that arise. However, I just feel like after doing, well, what is going to be, by the end of tomorrow, hopefully 78 full legs of flying on the World Adventure, I feel like it would be a bit weird to change aircraft, so I'm not going to. Yeah. Sean, I don't believe it will actually download whilst we fly. However, it does tend to make your game extremely unstable, or your sim, however you want to refer to it. But again, that's only my personal experience, and I've only actually ever been flying the sim once, when one of the updates became available. And that is one thing that we do need to keep in mind if we do decide to proceed onwards from Desierto De Atacama all the way to our original destination position of Antofagasta. If they do release the update during that time, whilst we are flying, there is a very, very real chance that we will obviously have a CTD, and then we will obviously not be able to restart the flight until the update is downloaded and installed. So that is definitely something to keep in mind when we consider what we're going to get up to once we make it to Desierto de Atacama. And Stu has arrived. Stu says, "G'day all." G'day, Stu, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing fantastically there, sir. Hope life is being kind to you. But obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I will ask the million-dollar question, which I probably should have asked much earlier in the stream, but I'm only going to ask now because I like to run severely behind on everything except for the actual start time of the stream, and that is, how are the sounds? How's the microphone? Is it being a piece of shit? How's the music in the background? How's the sim sounds? Etc, etc. The sounds are being awesome tonight. That's fantastic. Obviously, whatever I played with on the bottom of the microphone towards the end of last night's stream, the thing that stops background noise from being blocked out, by turning that down, obviously I've solved the issue that we ran into. So that's fantastic news. I really didn't want to be spending the next, 5 streams trying to figure out why my audio wasn't working correctly. So this is good news. Hey, GC Bounds is here. G'day, mate. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing absolutely fantastically. Oh, don't worry, Blackadder. I'm glad the purchase was worth it as well. I mean, again, well, maybe not the full cost of it, but at least 50% of it, 60% of it was financed through all you very generous legends. So it would have been really disappointing for me to end up in a situation where the microphone wasn't to a high enough standard. Because I would have just been like, well, these people have gone to the effort of passing on funds, and I've spent it on something for the channel, and it's, ended up worse than what we previously had. So it's good news that the situation has been resolved there, because otherwise I'd be like, for fuck's sake, Can't stay for long, but you can for now. Not a problem, GC Bounds, mate. How's life? How's the beach house? How's school? How's the weather? I don't know. Have you done anything interesting of recent times? Hey, Wes is now flying with us in his Britain Norman. He's taken the good old BN2B Islander. BN2B or not to be? Sure, Bryce, no worries. Look, honestly, if we did end up in a situation with this microphone where it wasn't to the quality of what we were looking for or whatever, I would have obviously swapped it for something like something from Blue or something from Rode or something like that. You know, it just would have been very frustrating. That's all. GC Bounds says, life's good. That's fantastic news, mate. Glad to hear. Captain Scoop says, look at the clouds. Yes, they're very white. Very white. Which is probably a good thing, because when your clouds aren't white, that's when you know that shit's going to occur. Whether that be rain, hail, thunderstorms, cyclones. Sean says, never has so much been owed by so many to so few. That sounds like a very much a contradiction in terms in a sentence, but I also think I know what you're referring to there, Sean, but I could also be wrong. So, I mean, I guess I confused you in the Discord before with splitting the stream leg up into two parts, so now it's your turn to turn the shoe or put the shoe on the other foot. Winston Churchill. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now, Sean. Captain Scoop says, where are you flying now? So, we are flying from Coquimbo to Desierto De Atacama. So, that is the main town at the entrance to the Atacama Desert here in northern Chile. So that is our destination of choice this evening. It was meant to be a little bit further, but a culmination of various scenarios has resulted in me splitting it up into two parts. One of those scenarios obviously being the sim update that is appearing in a couple of hours' time. Tends to make the sim quite unstable at around the time it is released, and then obviously you can't get back into the sim without having installed the downloaded and installed the update, which is not something I would like to be doing on stream because they are well renowned for being many gigabytes in size. GC Bounds says, alright, I've got to go see you the next time I am in school if I'm allowed to be watching. GC Bounds, mate, as long as you are not prioritising watching my streams over your education, you do you, mate. It's always a pleasure to have somebody like yourself here. But yeah, please don't forego your education for streaming either. It's something very important and means that, you know, maybe one day if you educate yourself to a certain level, you too will be, I wasn't about to say streaming, let me tell you, but you too will, you know, potentially be an actual real-life pilot. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know what your goals for your future are, but always aim high. but you need to obviously have plan B, plan C, plan D, etc. too. When's the next stream? So it's not currently scheduled, but there will be the part 2 of this flight will be this time in 24 hours, so tomorrow. And then Thursday night we are multi-streaming with Mr. Ozflight Simmer over in New Zealand. And I haven't made a decision about the rest of the week as of yet. There will probably be trucking or something on the Friday, and then probably flight simming on the Saturday, and I may just not do anything on the Sunday again. Anyway, I'll just give you my whole life story there, GC Bounds, whilst you're trying to leave. This is, you may as well sit down, take a seat, and make yourself a cup of tea, and we can do a This Is Your Life segment if you'd like. You ask the questions to me, and I'll answer them, because that's basically what's currently occurring. Sean Bale says, but could be said about lots of things, like a great bunch of Aussies doing silly things like streaming to help many people. Who? Who are these people, Sean? Who do you speak of? Silly Aussies that are doing streaming to help many people? If you mean Shane, yeah, absolutely. No, I know what you're saying there, Sean. Appreciate it, but I'll tell you right, and I'll be completely honest with you, Sean, the streaming wasn't originally designed to help people. It was just designed to be entertaining. That is just a great beneficial scenario that has occurred from the streaming having such a fantastic community involvement and making fantastic suggestions and creating awesome ideas, etc., etc. And of course motivating me to, and the rest of the awesome streamers within this community, to go above and beyond and provide more and more and more and be better and all that as well. It all culminates together. So it's not just the Aussies doing the silly things like streaming to help many people. It is very much a culmination of the community that has resulted in this situation there, Sean. Josh Manchester says, hey, g'day, Josh. Unfortunately, it's not Saturday, so I can't finish that sentence with hey, it's Saturday, but it is Tuesday, so hey, it's Tuesday. Cheap ass Tuesday. I don't know. Hope you are doing well though there, Josh. Welcome to the stream. If you're wanting to jump in and fly along, I'm more than happy to jump into little nav map and give you a ICAO code. It is quite phenomenal. Like, if you look down here, I just noticed this. There's these walking paths / dirt tracks going up these hills. It is really quite spectacular, actually, when you've got that much detail in the landscape. Need a coffee? Just woke up? No worries, Josh. Fully understand. You may, because you're not, actually, I forgot about the fact that you're not an Australian, so you may not understand my hey, it's Saturday thing. Anyway. If you don't, my bad. Basically, it was an old TV show in Australia. Like Adam, my first thought is, hey, we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around, but we're too busy singing. Damn, might need to climb a little bit here, because Stu was just saying that he missed a big hill. Jeez, if you're missing it, it's a little bit... If you're only just missing it... there, Stu, I think it's a little bit more than a hill. You know the monkeys? Oh, I'll take that then, Josh. I'll take that. But I'll have a quick look in the little nav map and obviously take into account that you need to get yourself a coffee and all of that. And I will go a few, nautical miles ahead and find an airport that's a little bit in the distance. And that should hopefully give you enough time to get your coffee and stuff and jump in. So Valernar, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Valernar, yeah, Valernar. So I'll just drop that in the chat, which is Sierra Charlie Lima Lima. David, that is a load of bullshit. We never monkey around. We take this very serious. Yeah, sure. Pigs might fly, eh? I mean, I know there is definitely an element of seriousness, I guess, to these around the world streams, but you know, straight away that's been debunked in the last 2 streams, taking these aircraft up above 20,000 feet, which they are not actually designed to achieve. Straight away removes any realism that we can possibly claim. Really, Sean? I wasn't even aware of that. It was the thing, mate. Which is pretty piss poor on my behalf, seeing as I should have a decent idea of how the sim operates, seeing as I'm streaming the damn thing on the internet. But those who know me would know that I don't really know much about how anything works at all. Other than the basics that are required to operate the aircraft. It's going to be very interesting, actually, when I multi-stream with Shane on Thursday, because even though I've got some idea of what's happening in the fly-by-wire A320, I'm still using a handwritten checklist to operate the aircraft, so be prepared for me to make mistakes and screw things up and possibly even crash the plane. Oh, actually, I just realised that I do not have the Streamlabs chatbot open, which is a bit screwy on my behalf. I haven't had the opportunity to put the flight plan or anything into the chat, which I guess is not really a problem because everybody who's coming along kind of knows what's happening and where we're going, etc. But am I going to be alright with these mountains that are coming up? I think I might just be okay because I'm going to go to the left-hand side of them. But here was I being all smart and saying, oh, I won't need to go any further than 5,000 feet. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And here I am potentially about to plough into the side of a mountain. That'll teach me from making comments. The ICAO code of tonight's destination is slightly concerning, I must say. Yeah, so I have special vision, Sean, that's exactly right. That's what the glasses are for. Very, very correct. Very correct. You'll see what I mean about the ICAO code for the destination airport this evening being very suspect. Actually, maybe I'm not going to be okay here. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to be good. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to increase the altitude very fast. In an attempt to not have a crash into the side of the mountain. As entertaining as a crash into the side of the mountain would be, for a desert, this is extremely high terrain. It was at this point that Rudin was like, for God's sake, can I have a break from the mountains? Speaking of which, he is now leaving anyway, so he's going to get a break from the mountains that he was probably hoping for. Talk about timing there, Bruden. Not a problem, mate. You look after yourself, good sir. Make sure that the wife gets to a dentist appointment and all that, and we shall see you tomorrow. Look after yourself. I think I already said that, but I'll just reiterate that, seeing as you're heading out into the big, bad, crazy world. Well, I'm glad we cleared that. Yeah. Hey, Fozzie's here. Smashing out of the airport in his Captain Sim 777. Obviously, he's fixed his issues that he was having with his PFDs and MFDs last night when he was flying between LA and New York with Semi in the Discord. G'day, Fozzie. How you going there, mate? Yeah, exactly. G'day, Fozzie, you dirty slew. The dirtiest slew that ever had flew was Fozzie. Hey, Black Evo is here as well. He says, g'day, not flying tonight. Well, that's fair enough, Black, because you're flying in real life in like 12 hours time or something like that, aren't you? So, I don't know, I know it's sometime in the next 12 or 18 hours that you fly, so that would make perfect sense that you don't really want to fly in the sim tonight. Now we're going to have an argument and chat about who's the biggest slew. Brett Plays says, sorry I am late. It's not a problem, Brett, at all. Everybody's entitled to arrive whenever they want. Speaking of which, Brett, I haven't actually had a opportunity. I'm doing very well, thank you for asking. I hope you are doing very well too there, Brett, but I haven't actually had an opportunity to talk to you about this yet, so I figured I'd have a quick chat with you about it before you head off to bed, because I'm assuming you're probably going to be doing that very soon. But you may or may not be aware of the fact that on the 30th of this month, so 10 days time, we are doing a Pink Ribbon charity fundraiser truck stream within Euro Truck Simulator. We actually have a page set up on the Cancer Council website. It's going to be a Pinktober stream where we are driving our trucks in pink ribbon paint jobs. I'm going to be hosting a convoy, which obviously means that 7 people can drive. Wes is going to be hosting a convoy, which means that 14 people can drive. I'm aware of the fact that you obviously cannot host a convoy, but if you'd be interested in multi-streaming it across on your channel as well, I believe Garwin is prepared to host a convoy as well, enabling us to have the 3 of us plus Garwin plus another 20 other drivers participating across various servers, I guess. I mean, I understand that means that there's not going to be 20 of us, unfortunately, or 24 of us all, unfortunately, driving together in the one stream, but we've got to make do with what we have in relation to Euro Truck. Yeah, cool, sweet, awesome. Mr. Gummy Wombat is here. He says, hey JSAG, hope you're well. I'm doing absolutely fantastically, Gummy. I hope you're doing awesome as well. appreciate all your kind comments that you always leave on my videos. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed. Appreciate the support there, Garmy. Absolute massive shout out to the legend himself, Mr. Gammy Wombat. Going to drop his channel, and I'm going to drop Brett in the chat as well. And I'm going to drop Wes's whilst we're at it too. Basically, any of these three absolute gentlemanly blokes, if you haven't given them a subscription, a bit of love over at their channels, do go check them out. They've got some fantastic content over there. Wes is doing some awesome stuff with the DC-6. Garmy is doing fantastic things around Tasmania with various aircraft, matching them up to awesome soundtracks and fantastic aircraft as well. Cannot fault him in any way, shape or form, and he basically needs to just start streaming now, don't you, Garmy? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No pressure. Black Evo is just going to go get some food. He's going to be back in about 10. No worries, Black Evo. All good, mate. All good. Just make sure you bring enough food back for the rest of us as well there. He's in Apollo Bay now. Ooh. I obviously haven't caught your last video yet there, Garmy. My bad. I will make a beeline straight for it once we've landed here in Desierto De Atacama and probably had a little bit of a mess around at an airport somewhere with aircraft that shouldn't be being flown into those airports, otherwise known as our Pilot Skills Challenge. Hey Brett, I got the Corsair as well last night, so if you want to do some sort of video on the Corsair or something, you know, like what I did with Garmy with the Trinidad, I would be down. I don't know, throwing ideas. Hey, there's Mr. Josh Manchester out there on our right hand wing. Let's do that. Alright, sounds good. More than happy though, Brett, for you to pick a particular location to take it. I don't know. Maybe we can fly Corsairs through the middle of the Grand Canyon or something. Something absolutely cool, crazy and spectacular like that. But I will leave that very... unless you obviously want me to make a choice, but I would be more than happy for you to, I don't know, make a decision on where we would be taking it, is what I'm trying to get to come out of my mouth, but it doesn't want to work, and the brain has basically had a crash to desktop at this point. Stu's got the Corsair as well. Maybe we can do a three-way. Aircraft carrier takeoff at Pearl Harbor. Now that would be cool. Corsairs over Hawaii with a takeoff from an aircraft carrier at Pearl Harbor. That would be really cool. I actually really like that idea. You're going to give me a peek at your North Pole and South Pole, Wes. Can you save that for your OnlyFans, mate, please? Yeah, mate, I'd be down to do it next week. Absolutely. Absolutely. That sounds fantastic. I just need to message Shane in the Discord and pick up the Corsair, because... or the... how I pick up my Corsair or whatever it is. Garmy's going to pick up the Corsair as well. Damn. We may need to do a four-way. I'm going to take the Otter from the North Pole to the South Pole. Speaking of, well, it's not actually speaking of flying from the North Pole to the South Pole, but that brought to thought about an idea I was having, but before I get further into that, I'm going to just have a look at what Sean is saying. Sean, not wanting to upset anyone, don't want to have a go. Is it worth buying military planes for Microsoft Flight Simulator if you have DCS? I love MSFS, I love the DC-3, but planes like the A-10, F-14 and A-10 coming but in DCS. But that's not going to upset anyone at all there, Sean. DCS is a fantastic simulator for the military side of things. I haven't played it that much, but I certainly haven't been able to fault it. And you are very correct. It isn't necessarily worth having military aircraft within Flight Simulator if you have DCS, unless you want to obviously use those military aircraft for non-military purposes, like flying Corsairs over Pearl Harbor and locations like that. But no, you make a very, very good point there, Sean. And yeah, Wes is having a week off. How dare you, Wes? What do you think this is? A decision that a channel that you own, that you can make decisions on based on how you're feeling and things that are going on in your life? Terrible, terrible, terrible. Obviously, I'm only messing with you there, Wes. You obviously deserve the rest. You've been working extremely hard on your Ring of Fire, and of course with the radio interview as well. That would have taken quite a lot out of you that week, I'm sure, especially seeing you also had quite an early start the day after the radio interview, if I'm not mistaken. Icarus says, hello mates, he's slewing up like a dirty slew that he is. G'day Icarus, mate, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing absolutely fantastically there. I'm being slapped by Wes's thong. I'm hoping it's the one from his foot and not the other type, because it would reel off a whole new list of questions that I need to ask you then, Wes, that's for sure. It really would. Gami, the good news, Gami, is that if you do stream, mate, you're going to get viewers from this channel, Wes's channel, Shane's channel, Brett's channel, over at your stream, which all of the viewers of these channels are obviously very familiar with, helping those who are just starting off in the streaming side of things. So obviously you're not going to get judged or anything like that, and we're obviously going to support you and point you in the right direction and give you tips and tricks if you need any, or assistance or stuff like that. So I understand it's very much a confidence-based thing, and I went through the same thing for many, many months, Garmy, but based on the content that you put out in your videos, you honestly do not need to be concerned about streaming. Like, you will do an absolutely fantastic job of it. So the best advice I can give you, Garmy, and I think I've already given it to you previously, was do it. Just bite the bullet and just do it, and you will realize very quickly that you just be yourself and speak to everybody as if they are your, you know, mates of yours or whatever. And it's not really that different to having communication with people in real life, say, you know, across a Zoom call or dealing with business related things. And I know for a fact that you're very, very good at doing that sort of stuff. Sean Atkins says, hey Bryson, all. G'day Sean, mate, welcome to the stream, hope you are doing well, Banjo. Dan Random is here as well. He says, hello mate. G'day Dan, mate, welcome to the stream, hope you are doing fantastically there as well. No bans for you over here, Mr. Dan. If either of or if any of the people who just jumped into the stream are looking for a airport location to join us at, it was just on my screen and now it's disappeared. There you go. Freirina Airport. So Freirina Airport is where is Google Map? Is Sierra Charlie Foxtrot, or just off to the right hand side is Sierra Charlie Lima. So Sierra Charlie Foxtrot or Sierra Charlie Lima. If you are planning on jumping into the sim, any of you legends, please, well not please, those are your airport options is what I'm trying to say, but it is, for some reason, it is a real struggle to get the words out this evening. Not actually that much different to usual. Brett says, is your ground grainy or just my stream? My ground... Oh! No, not just your stream, Brett. It's showing up on my Streamlabs for some reason. Hang on. I think I know why. Hang on a sec. This is going to look weird, but I've probably fixed the problem by doing this. Let me know if that's solved the problem. Because it's not showing up on my Streamlabs anymore as being an issue, so don't know. Looks much better. Yeah, so I forgot about the fact that I had my stream settings set to display capture and not game capture, and I've noticed that when I stream the sim, if I do not have it on game capture, sometimes the way it's reading the graphics can be all sorts of messed up, as we just saw occur. So, yeah. Cheers for the heads up there, fellas. Much appreciated. I don't know why it does that on display capture. The only reason I can think of is because the huge amount of graphics processing that is required for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I can only assume that when it is set to display capture, that because it's also trying to obviously capture whatever's else is on the display, even though there's nothing there is behind the sim, and obviously it plays havoc with Streamlabs. Who knows? But I'm glad it's solved the problem. David Ross says, "G'day, blokes. G'day, David. How you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing fantastically there. Good sir. So, Brett, it depends on the game I am streaming or making videos with. Some work really well with screen capture. Some work 10 times better with game capture. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I find, works a lot better with game capture. Obviously, games like Forza and Truck Sim and all that work much better with screen capture. I don't have an explanation for it, and I'm not going to try and find an explanation for it. If that's the way it is, that's just the way it's going to be, little darling. We'll go riding on the horses. Yeah, yeah. Sean says, you lost me when you said hello. I've heard it's not nice if you're captured, though. Sean, like a really genuine question right now. Have you considered a career in comedy? You only use screen capture, Brett? That's interesting, isn't it? As you just noticed, if I use screen capture, I get all sorts of graininess and stuff. Common Sense Gaming says, g'day, mate. G'day, Common Sense Gaming. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well there, good sir. Ooh, Short Round says, I tried your recipe last night. I had filet mignon for my meat and I used a hot Mexican chili powder instead of regular chili powder. Pretty damn good, sir. Just coughing attack, but that's fantastic news, Short Round. Glad to hear that it was a successful cook. Oh, I mean, yeah, Brett. I mean, I'm happy to look at things like that. Absolutely, especially if we want to amalgamate the two together when we streaming when we're making the video to do with the Corsair or whatever. If we want to have a bit of a play around prior to doing that, more than happy to look at that. I mean, Brett, I'm more than happy to obviously explore both screen capture and game capture, because if I can get both of them to work perfectly for me, obviously that's going to be extremely beneficial in the long term. If for some reason I have an error with one of the particular captures, which occasionally occurs, it certainly can't hurt to play with settings and compare and test stuff, that's for sure. Drew says VGA 640 by 480 rules. Absolutely, Drew. 100% agree with you. You know what else rules? Having to get up from the couch to change the TV channel. But Drew, mate, welcome to the stream. It is a pleasure to have you here as usual. David Jacker. Can I watch you while you play around and explore with Brett? Don't think it's quite the kind of playing around and exploring with Brett that you were probably hoping for there, David. I will be honest with you. Yeah. We need to work out yours, Wes, because it tunked in London and lax. There we go. I'm inventing words midstream. You remember when remote controls were living organisms, Brett? You were one of the remote controls? Oh, I see what you mean. As in living organisms, as in us. Right, yes. Cool. Pull the knob to turn it on. I mean, isn't that the way that you still turn it on these days, Sean? Enough pulling on the knob and many things will occur, if you know what I mean. Dad said get up and turn the channel. Yep. I very vaguely remember being told to do that in my childhood, but probably only for about a year or two, Brett, obviously, because I was born in the early 90s. Remote controls for televisions were basically available with every TV you purchased. And I think the only reason that I had to get up and change the channels for the first, at least for a very short time period that I can remember, is that simply that when my parents built their house, or built their first house, I think they bought their first house, when they bought their first house in the mid-80s, they obviously purchased a TV, and they were given an old school TV as well. So both of those didn't have remotes, but obviously by the time the mid-90s came around, all that technology was severely outdated and was time for an upgrade and an update, so they did. Yeah. Yep, hold the aerial, exactly. Dan says, I come here to watch Flight Sim, but stay for the jokes. What jokes are you talking about, Dan? Other than, obviously, me speaking. But, I guess, Brett, you could say that you spent most of the 90s getting a good old-fashioned rim job then, hey? Sean Dale says 3 hours, 50 minutes to go. Still, really? 3 hours, 50 minutes to go until the update is released? I could have sworn it was only like an hour and a bit. Usually it's a 2 a.m. thing here in Australia. How'd I get that wrong? Unless they've got a slightly different release time this time around. Yeah, exactly. Hashtag don't ban Dan. I feel like even though Dan only does occasional flight sim streams here and there over on his channel, that he should get merchandise made up that just says hashtag don't ban Dan. Please don't. Don't worry, Dan, you are safe. Even if one of the mods does ban you, I'll just unban you. Because I have those extra powers. Yeah, no, I know it was Shane's fault. It's it's absolutely hilarious because obviously you were doing a fantastic, beneficial thing. Oh, so is it 3 hours and 50 minutes for the update, Sean, or is it 3 hours and 50 minutes for the next developer Q&A? You know, I could just Google this and find out the answer for myself, but that would just be too easy. So, the Sim Update 6 is expected to land on Tuesday, October 19 at 1500 UTC. Now, if I'm not mistaken, 1500 UTC should be 2 AM. It is. So yeah, 1 hour and 17 minutes before the next Sim update, which means 1 hour and 17 minutes until we get a crash to desktop and everything goes to shit. This is Squid Game. Ozflight Simmer says, good evening and good night. Have a great stream tonight. Thank you very much, Shane. Thank you very much for dropping in, good sir, as well. I hope the rest of your stream went fantastically, despite the fact that you obviously felt rushed and behind time. But have a good one, Shane. You look after yourself there, mate. Squid Game, but we do it in planes instead. I'd say that's just a recipe for death and disaster if you were to try and do that. But anyway, bit of death and disaster never killed nobody. No, hang on, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, 30th of October, Brett. Shane does well for a jumping castle technician. Hang on, what? This cloud cover is mildly infuriating because the ground looks pretty specky. I believe we are almost about to enter the Atacama Desert, or what is actually listed as the Atacama Desert. Let me have a quick look on little nav map and see. Alright, hang on. That's not gonna work the way I wanted it to. That's fine. We'll do it this way then. That's... Come on, internet. Work with me. Work with me. Yeah, so Desierto De Atacama is in fact, as I suspected, the actual official start point of the Atacama Desert. Which makes sense. And the Atacama Desert is the world's driest desert. So that's can just do a headline, you know, Shane Ozflight Simmer, jumping castle technician by day, OnlyFans star by night, plus streamer. Fozzie says Becky Davies is here, question mark. I don't think so. Shane's parking attendant at Caloundra Airport. No, Blackadder, that's just on the weekends. That's his side hustle, his side gig. That's why he's not able to be a full-time flight sim streamer, because the sheer amount of money that he makes from being a jumping castle technician and a parking attendant at Caloundra Airport, and from OnlyFans, and from the donations he receives on the sim, it must be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a week. So of course he'd have to make a huge lifestyle adjustment to only live off the donations from the stream. At least that's my thought process on it. It's probably absolutely nothing like that in any way, shape or form, but it seems like a plausible story, so I'm going with it. I really need to go get the lint roller and take my collection of Star's hair off of my jacket. It's obviously not showing up on the stream, but this jumper is almost, or this footy or this jacket or whatever the bloody hell it is, hooded jacket jumper thing, has almost changed colour. It has that much dog hair on it right now, because a certain person likes to come and sit and hang out. Person? Doggo. Same thing these days. And in typical fashion, almost everybody has gone past me. Your favourite song of the stream? I love that, Blackadder. I love the fact that people are actually developing favourite songs. It also is a decent hint that I need to obviously add a few more songs. Is the best done jumping castle technician you've ever seen, Dan? Yeah, I agree. Voice is going a tad ASMR at times. I don't think it's the mic this time. Well, you know what, Drew? Let's just, for safety purposes, have a quick look. But it could also be because I am not being too loud with the voice, I guess. No, it certainly hasn't. It may be because, as part of the issues I was having last night, Drew, I obviously readjusted the cardioid on the microphone. But obviously I will need to continuously just keep adjusting the background noise filter on the bottom of the microphone for the next few streams, just until I obviously get an absolutely perfect point where you guys can hear me no problem, no matter what I say, no matter which direction I speak, etc. No, definitely not stressed about it, Drew. Just obviously aware of the fact that it's obviously not going to be perfect for another few streams, which makes sense. Because all good things take time. There we go, my package from Garwin has just departed New York, which was the last known location that it was at, was John F. Kennedy International Airport. Put Navigraph's opinion of where we are regarding Atacama in the photo section of the Discord. No worries, Sean. I will have a look now. So I guess what, and correct me if I'm wrong there, Sean, but I guess what it's saying is basically what Little Navmap is saying as well, that the particular location that we're heading to is the actual technical start of the Atacama Desert. Oh, thank you very much for the kind comments there on the music there, Dan. But my point that I was sort of making was, if people are developing favourite songs, it means that the songs are being played a fair bit, which is not a bad thing, but it's also a reminder that I just need to keep updating the song library so that it doesn't get, it doesn't go from the point of, I like this song, to, oh god, not this fucking song again, which happens a lot, especially if you listen to the radio and stuff like that. When they overplay a song too much that you may originally like, it gets to the point of, I can't listen to that song anymore kind of thing. Fozzie's already on final because he's flying a 777. Oh, absolutely, Dan. I chill out with the tunes. I tried starting this stream earlier on without having the music in my ear, and it just felt weird. About the only streams that I can do without the music in my ear is the cooking ones, because obviously I'm so focused on other things. But it feels weird to be flying without music playing. But I think I need to get myself some wireless Bluetooth in-ear noise cancellers or something, so that I can potentially have the music in even when I am doing cooking on the fly. Can definitely tell that we are starting to enter some serious desert location, though. If you look down at the ground below the very frustratingly annoying clouds that are currently in this location, but you can see that it's becoming increasingly more flat and more arid and desert-like below us, which probably makes sense, because I don't think we're actually that far off of Desierto de Atacama. In fact, we're not at all. We are almost in the airport's airspace. So it looks like we might have a little bit of time for a pilot skills challenge over at a particular airport. So, where did I put the list of... There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Ooh, yeah, I think I know where we're going to go. I think I know where we're going to go. So, with the Pilot Skills Challenge at the arrival here into Desierto de Atacama, the ICAO code for the Pilot Skills Challenge is now dropped into the chat. Obviously, if we do get bored of that location, we can go to another location. But I obviously just need to continuously be aware of the fact that as we approach 2 a.m., so 1 hour from now, that the sim may become increasingly unstable and possibly crash to desktop, and may not allow us to continue on without completing the update. I doubt that, David. I really doubt that there's going to be petroglyphs showing up. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But because all of it's done from being satellite data and aircraft flying over, I get the feeling that unless somebody does a scenery for the Atacama Desert, that I just don't think they'll show up, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the same thing goes with the Aboriginal Dream Times scribings over in Australia. Unfortunately, they don't show up in the sim either. And about the only way to get them to show up would obviously be to have a mesh or a scenery created for the particular area. I guess that's something for somebody like Orbex to come along and work on at some point, but unfortunately I don't think stuff like that is going to be very high up on their list, simply because you'll probably find that the amount of people who actually fly over the Atacama Desert within the sim is probably not that many, and the same with the outback parts of Australia. You'll probably find that a lot of people who fly within the sim don't tend to fly over that part of the world, which is unfortunate, but it's simply because there's not enough population in these locations for people to know enough about them to be interested in flying over them. At least that's the general opinion I get. I could be wrong. There may be a lot of people who are interested in these locations. Now, I just need to check again on Little Nav Map to make sure that I am not going to... Yep, so I need to descend. Runway 35 is the active here at Desierto De Atacama, which is, if I could just get the information that I'm looking for, please, Little Nav Map. Hello. Its elevation is 645 feet. I am 12.8 nautical miles from it. It is time to descendulate at a rapid rate. Whoa, okay, not quite that rapid of a rate. Alright. I agree with you, Jew. I agree with you, Jew. Fuck. English is not happening today. English hasn't been happening this week. Obviously, my body's just decided... body and brain has just decided that it's going to be a new language from last night. I agree with you, Drew. The word petroglyph sounds like a dinosaur species. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Does anyone here consider themselves to potentially be skilled enough to be able to do like scenery meshes or stuff like that? Or, you know, obviously edit scenery to maybe include petroglyphs? Gami says, I'm off everyone, thanks for the flight, was happy to finally fly with you live. Yep, Garmy, was an absolute pleasure to have you along for the live ride as well there, good sir. You make sure you look after yourself there, Garmy. Stay safe, stay well. Do anyone I wouldn't do. And if I don't see you beforehand, I'll see you over in the Discord when yourself and myself and Brett and potentially Stu do something with the Corsair. But until then, mate, hopefully I see you before then. But if not, catch you later. Got to go and sleep. You got to get that beauty sleep, Garmy. I fully understand. Montai. Sorry, I'm not fantastic with names. I'm hoping that one of those is maybe halfway along there. But welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you are doing good. No worries, Garmy. We probably won't do anything much with it until next week. So don't feel as if you need to grab it straight away and fly it. It is a sort of study-ish level aircraft as well. So that's the other thing is I've got to, and I'm sure Brett will need to as well, spend some time getting acquainted with it. Well, there's definitely no denying that this is a desert. It's extremely arid, extremely sparse. I need to stop looking at the desert though, otherwise I'm going to miss lining up for the runway here, which would be slightly orkies. The crazy thing about the Atacama Desert is so popular with tourists that this particular airport was actually built not too long ago here in this particular location, because the previous airport was just over that way a bit, was too small to handle the air traffic that was coming in. The airlines like LATAM, Chile and all that were flying in here started using Airbus A320 aircraft and stuff like that due to the demand. Now I'm obviously very sure that that demand has dropped significantly thanks to COVID, but it's just very interesting when you hear these things. You know, you'd look at the surrounding area and go, why is there a major, you know, international style airport with a proper runway and everything out here? And that's why, like, I am coming in so high right now. Yeah, Fozzie, Stu's not going yet. Why are you trying to get rid of him? You dirty slew. Alright. Concentration to try and make up for the shit that I did yesterday. That's better. Much better. Short round's doing a go around, it appears. Hey, Willie's here. I wasn't even aware of that. Willie, mate, welcome to the stream. I know you're probably in VR and you can't respond, but awesome to have you here, mate. Awesome to have you here. Yeah, I agree with you, Blackadder. You can't be, you gotta be careful around that Fozzie guy. You know, he's always acting like a really dirty slew. And just, slewing all over the place and messing other people up. You just, you know, just can't trust him. Right, so hopefully I'll be able to get this aircraft over to the terminal and parked up so that I can grab a few of you on the drone coming in, and then I will obviously meet those of you who are coming over for a bit of fun with some pilot skills for about 20-30 minutes or so over at Yankee Lima Zulu India is the airport ICAO code that you will be looking for. Fozzie's 777 always looks so out of place at these airports after these flights. So many buttons. So many buttons. Okay. Whoop, we were in the ground then. Come over here and we'll watch, first up we'll watch Mr. Dan, no, we'll watch Icarus swoop in for the, landing. Doesn't look like a landing when you're facing that way, Icarus. Short round coming in the P-38, which is depicted as an Airbus for some reason, despite the fact that I actually have the P-38, so who knows why that is. Microsoft Flight Simulator there for you, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Random is now in the TBM. No pressure at all, Dan. You are on film. Whoop, that's a bit bouncy. Bit of the bunny rabbit going on there from Dan, and now we have Mr. Willie, who is still a little bit out, but not actually that. Oh, there we go. Not actually that far. He's at 3,000 feet, making his way in. As I said, very, very likely this man is in VR. And I can only imagine that right now he is having an absolutely fantastic time in VR out over here in this part of the world. Icarus coming in for another fly past, or is this a landing? I'm not sure. This man always brings many variations on things. It looks like that's a landing this time round. And quite a good landing as well, I must say. Oop, short round's coming around again in his A330 P-38 Lightning. Fozzie's feeling the love, but I'm concerned about whether it's his own personal love or somebody else's, and whether or not it's consensual. Short round's back on his way in again here in his A330 P38 Lightning. New aircraft model. It's just become available. Definitely looking the part this time round. Just heading up here to see where Willie's actually at. All-around love? Ah, yes, that's always the best type of love, the all-around love. Willie is way out there. Is he? Oh, I could have sworn that he actually wasn't that far off, but that's possibly my bad. I mean, he's descending, so he can't be that far away. Oh, good short round. If it's a difficult aircraft, you know, we're not here to judge your flying ability or whatever. If it's a difficult aircraft, it's a difficult aircraft, you know. The good thing is that when we see you flying the P38 and you're absolutely nailing it, we'll be like, damn boy, you've done well. What are you doing, Star? I'm hoping that we haven't pulled Willie away from some absolutely fantastic scenery that he may have been enjoying, and he sort of feels like he just needs to come over here because we've got our eye on him. That's certainly not what I was aiming to try and do. Alright, well, I don't want to rush the man with his P38 Lightning and his VR, and he's potentially checking out some fantastic locations. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to head on over to Yankee Lima Zulu India. I'll pop it again in the chat in a moment. We'll go over there, we'll check out that particular location for a bit of a pilot skills challenge. Feel free to bring out some crazy aircraft and I'll have the drone out. We can just have some fun for the next 20-30 minutes or so. Thank you very much, David, for popping in the chat. David Jacko has just popped the ICAO code in the chat, so it is Yankee Lima Zulu India. I'll repeat it once more, Yankee Lima Zulu India. See all you legends over there in a moment. Alright. We are back. Loading in. Fantastic photo that they've put up there as the splash screen, that's for sure. Huh. Pretty cool airport, I must say. Alright. That button does what we need it to do. And that button, or that slider, should I say, does, or should hopefully do, what we need it to do as well. Yes, it does. Wow, talk about a little paradise just off the coast of Australia here. I didn't even know that this place really existed. There you go. Cool as. I don't know if it's really a pilot skills challenge, but it's very pretty. So I honestly can't remember who suggested this, but whoever it was, shout out to you. What an awesome location to fly into. We have Dan Randoms coming in here in the Edgeley Optica, I believe. I wonder if it'll actually show up as the Edgeley Optica, though, because I do have it. So that will be interesting. That's a no. It doesn't show up as the Edgeley Optica. Well, that's disappointing. I wonder what's going on with my aircraft. Maybe the Sims just decided to change back to generic or something. Another crash to desktop, Dave. Now, are you getting crashes to... I must ask, David, are you getting crashes to desktop? Damn, Stu is moving. And he's crashed. Okay. Yeah, no, David, are you getting crashes to desktop when you're doing things on the world map? Because I am too. That's where I get my crashes to desktop, when I try to load up a location that is a long, long way from or load up an airport that is a long, long way from where I was just flying. If I do it too quickly in the world map, I get a crash to desktop. Oh, Josh has nearly left the runway. Same here. Okay. So, that's obviously a thing. It's a new feature added recently to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I can't tell who's going to land here first, whether it's going to be Wes or Blackadder, because they're both coming from a... different direction. Willie V says, great flying, have to go. Catch you later or tomorrow. Willie, not a problem, mate. I wasn't sure whether we should have hung around for you to finish that leg at the Atacama, because I know you're always in VR, so I don't want to be that... arsehole who makes it feel like I'm trying to rush you along or anything. But glad you did enjoy the flight, mate. And you look after yourself, Willie. And we will obviously see you very soon. Stu's having another go. Let's see if he gets it up this time before we have another crash. It's not going well for Stu at the moment. It's not going well for Stu. Trying to make it down to the other end of the runway. Obviously, Blackadder is in a helicopter. But it's obviously a helicopter that I don't have. In comes Wes in his Grand Caravan. The Grey Nomad. And he's down, and he's still on the runway. And he's sort of on the runway, and now he's not on the runway anymore. Oh yeah, he could be in the 145. Very true. Because I've got the Robinson Bell and the 135, obviously, because you guys have seen me fly that. Ultralight. Oh, that's why you're going so slow, Black. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Short round is going to bring the Tomcat in, which I think is quite ballsy, because there goes Wes in his Grand Caravan. Either he's changing aircraft or he's just overstressed the Caravan. One of the above two options. Please tick a box. Oh, he's decided it's DC6 time. Right, okay. So Wes is coming in the DC6. If anybody else would like to up their game, I don't know, maybe the fly-by-wire A320. David Jacko seems to be going fishing. And can no longer see him, so that means he's probably drowned. R.I.P. David. Anyway, on to more important things. Only joking, David. But I mean, Brett, the same thing's currently happening as well. I know we've discovered that Blackadder's in the ultralight, but the same thing's been happening with the Edgeley Optica. I mean, Dan's coming in the Edgeley Optica. I have it. Short round was coming in the P38 Lightning. I have it. But they're not showing up. So I'm thinking that the sim may have actually changed my settings to generic aircraft. Because, you know, as we've discovered, Streamlabs and Microsoft Flight Simulator just like to do random things, you know, behind the scenes, without asking. Was that the ground that I saw you crash into there, short round? I've got Big Jack coming in from one end, and I've got Wes coming in from the other end. Big Jack's in the Captain Sim 777, and Wes is in the DC6. Beluga on Peace says, let me try that again. Beluga on PC says, not Beluga on Peace. Got the new mic yet? I certainly do, Beluga. I'm coming to you live, loud and clear from the new microphone, which is where my hand is. You can probably see when I do that. You can see the microphone and the pop filter is literally right there. And except for a few issues with the volume control and how it disregards background noise, the settings, we've got them pretty good now. We're still going to need a little bit of adjustment here and there. But pretty impressed so far, other than the issues we had with adjusting the sound originally. But now that I sort of believe I may have figured out the way to control that, yeah, pretty happy. Looking and sounding good. Thank you very much, Beluga. So that's what I aim to do. Well, the sounding good anyway. I don't know about the looking good, but Sean says, don't learn if you have no mistake. That is very true, Sean. Very true. Something that I was taught very early on as a chef. You're never going to make it as a chef unless you fuck up a lot. And they weren't wrong when they told me this, because when I started allowing myself to make mistakes, stupid mistakes, terrible mistakes, bad mistakes, costly mistakes, I started to learn a lot quicker and become a better chef a lot quicker than when I was trying to, you know, be that young, smart guy who sort of, you know, was an expert at everything. That's not the best way to go about it. I'll tell you that right now. Blackadder, I feel like that aircraft is slightly cheating. It's so easy to land at basically snail's pace. Here comes Wes in his DC-6 to a potentially inevitable death, but also a potentially successful landing, depending on which Wes is behind the pilot controls right now. Well, we know which Wes is behind the pilot controls right now. It's Tokyo Drift Wes. Alright, swing around and let's see how Mr. Jack is going in his Captain Sim. Here he comes. Oh, he's actually climbing on approach, which is an interesting tactic that you've got there, Dave. I'll be honest with you. I don't usually find myself climbing on approach, but whatever works, I guess. Yes, but Wes, that's fine. But can you stop the DC-6 first without almost flipping it over and causing everybody to be thrown all about the cabin, like Big Jack just has in the 777, and he's just landed the 777 here at Lizard Island. There you go. You just said, see you stop that short and anything bigger. Well, Captain Jack has just raised the bar by landing the 777-200 here at Lizard Island, well before the end of the runway. And he touched down quite late. So, challenge is now definitely set, Wes. You set the challenge, and the challenge has already been met. Now, somebody land the 777-300 here at Lizard Island. That'll be a real test. And I guess the other real test will be get the 777 back off the ground. Calling Pigeon is down in the TBM, and he's hard on the brakes, especially because somebody's left a DC6 half across the runway. So Wes, I guess what I'm saying is that your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to land the DC6 in non-drift Wes style, in streaming Wes style, and see how quickly you can stop it in comparison to the 777. Now, I'm assuming you should be able to stop it quicker. In fact, I have a good feeling you'll be able to stop it quicker. Brett Plays says, I'm off, mate. Good staying up late to be able to watch your stream, but now I am beat. Have a good one. Brett, thank you very much for hanging around and being up so late. This is quite abnormal. But either way, you have a good rest there, good sir. You look after yourself. Stay safe, stay well. Don't do anyone I wouldn't do. And I'm sure I will probably see you. Well, in fact, I will see you because you're multi-streaming with Shane tomorrow night, I believe. So I'll see you in that. Catch you later, Brett. Oh, Josh has upped the game. He has got... Well, he's literally brought the end game. And he's got the 747-8. I have no doubt that Wes is going to be able to get the DC6 off the ground here. All he'll do is just supercharges and wet injection, and he'll go for it. So just a heads up, we do have about 23 minutes until the sim update is released. So that means we probably have about 10 to 15 minutes of stable simming left before things might start to get a bit dicey. And again, I'm only going off my personal experience, and it's only been an experience that I've come across once, because I've only ever been simulating during a sim update once. However, I mean, there's always potential for them to ruin it, Dan, but it's more, it's from my personal experience, and as I was saying, it's only ever happened, it's only been a one-time thing, but the last time that I was playing the sim, during the time that a sim update was released, the sim went haywire, kept disabling Bing photogrammetry, and then crashed, and then... obviously, to get back into the sim, I had to download and install the update. So just to avoid that, I will obviously, and have every single time since, decided to just shut down the sim before the update comes along. 10 minutes or so, and I've never had an issue with that since. And it may have actually had nothing to do with the fact that the update came along at that particular time. It could have simply been that the sim was just playing funny buggers at the time. It just seemed very, the timing was there that sort of said, this is potentially being caused by the fact that the update was released. Jacko is coming in the 787, but he's assuming Mr. Manchester Josh stops the 748, he's going to take the crown. About the only way that somebody can possibly beat the 748 is if somebody's got the 777-300 ER from Captain Sim. And the reason I say that is simply because the 777-300ER is the longest twin-engine aircraft in the world, I believe. It may actually have changed now with the A350-1000, but at one point the 777-300ER was the longest twin-engine aircraft in the world. And because it's only got two engines, it obviously has mildly less stopping power than a 747 because there is less available reverse thrust. At least that's the way I'm basing it anyway. So, cool. Yes, but you see, Sean, that's because Turn 10 Studios is a very, very, very experienced game creator. They've got, you know, like, they've been making the Forza games since the mid-2000s, since the original Xbox. So they've had plenty of chance to, you know, get their shit together. Same with Rockstar Games and Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption and all that. Whenever you get updates and stuff for that, everything's relatively stable. And, oh god, David's going to overrun. Yeah, everything's relatively stable and stuff in relation to that, again, because of sheer experience that they have. The Sobo, relatively new at the whole game production side of things. So they're probably still trying to find their feet in relation to stuff like that. Yeah, see, there you go. Stu's just had a crash to the desktop. And David's had a crash to desktop. And here comes the crash to desktops. You can tell that there's an update imminent and they're doing things with the servers because it's creating all sorts of weird things. Oh, it's actually, I mean, I know you're a little bit long here, Wes, but it's actually looking not bad. And now not so good. Yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous, Dan. The fact that people would go to those sorts of lengths. You've got nothing to worry about speaking your personal opinions in here. Alright, so we're going to have Josh come in here, and then I think we might actually call the stream there. I've noticed that quite a few of the people who were flying around have obviously called it a day, and I fully understand. There's only so many times you can land crazy aircraft at a particular airport before it just becomes the same thing over and over and over and over again, rinse, repeat. So basically, if you do want to get a landing in, you have until Mr. Manchester gets his 748 in. So if you are interested in landing, get yourself, once more, get yourself up in that air and flying around. Dan Random says, thanks for another great stream, mate. Talk soon. No worries, Dan. Mate, you keep looking after yourself, especially with all the pain meds and stuff in relation to the surgery. I do hope recovery is going well there. Great, sir. You look after yourself and get some good rest and, you know, make sure that you don't do anyone I wouldn't do, and I'll obviously see you around soon, Dan. Sean says, good night, Banjo, mate. You get a good rest there, mate. Look after yourself. Stay safe, stay well. Don't do anyone I wouldn't do, and I will probably see you tomorrow or over in Shane's or Brett's or over here or wherever, really, because there's so many places these days. Shaundale says, please repeat the great quality streams, sir. Only the best for you, Sean. Geez, the people in those houses here at Lizard Island are probably like, what the fuck is going on right now? Oh, he hasn't even got his spoilers deployed, and he's potentially going to pull this thing up just past the end of the runway here at Lizard Island. Josh Manchester, that is a phenomenal effort there, good sir. Well done, well done, well done. Alright, so Mr. Manchester is down. Nobody else has managed to get themselves up in the air. Quite a few people have suffered the dreaded crash to desktop, which I will still say is in relation to the fact that there is a sim update imminently brewing and that they are doing funny buggers with the servers. So, ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the end of the stream and to the end of part 1 of leg 78 from Coquimbo to Desierto De Atacama. So tomorrow night we will finish leg 78 and we'll continue on to Antofagasta. And then we will do another pilot skills challenge at another particular airport that is sitting in the landing or the pilot skills challenge section of the Discord that we haven't completed yet. But until then, I hope the sim update is kind to everyone and that we don't have too many issues. And obviously, if issues do occur, obviously you can post it in the Discord and everybody will try to help everybody out in relation to getting the sims back to some sort of stability and usability. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard, I do hope that you guys did enjoy that stream as much as I did, and hopefully, touch wood, I'll be able to see all of you again tomorrow evening in here with a nice, stable, usable sim. But until next time, legends, stay safe, stay well, look after yourselves, don't do anyone I wouldn't do, and I will catch you all next time. Cheers.
On my way home, stumbling on the pavement, yeah. No sleep in my body, last night got me wasted, yeah. Ain't nobody calling my phone up just to make sure I get home safe and sound, yeah. I'm pretty sure if I fall down and don't get up, nobody would care, yeah. Don't wanna be alone anymore, so I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. Yeah. I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. Yeah. I might as well sleep with the doors unlocked. Headache and sore throat, constantly hungover.